Have you got a woody? Have you got a woody? A red hot woody wood fire.
Now here are the vegetables that we're going to use to cook our 8 dishes. We have got mushrooms, carrots, onions, cauliflower, pumpkin, tomatoes and small potatoes, and of course the olive oil. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook each vegetable in its own dish, and I'm doing this because I just want to show you how you can cook for 8 dishes at a time. You could do the dish, you could put all the vegetables and the meat together if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do it in this manner. So I'm just going to cut up the potatoes. The potatoes are quite small, and I'll just cut them in half like that. And what I'll do is put a little sprinkling of olive oil in the dish. Not too much, just a little. Now, I find these tin foil trays for cooking in these woody is the best since sliced bread. You can't get better than these for cooking. So we're using those dishes. Now these potatoes are quite small. You can see they're quite small. So I'm just cutting them in half. They're just washed potatoes. That is just absolutely perfect. What I'll do is I'll just swizz that around in the oil a little bit. You can get a little bit of oil around the whole lot of the potato, that's fantastic. That's good. What you're doing is you're locking in it'll cook, because the oil is a wonderful thing to cook the dish. And now this is prepared, and all I've got to do is put the tin foil over it. The tin foil is just absolutely fantastic because it locks in, it's like a steamer. It gives it a steam effect, and then we take it off. We can take it off like about 5 minutes before we take it out of the oven. So that's the potato dish ready. And here you can see our next dish is carrots. Now I would put these carrots in the hole, but these are a little bit thick and a little bit too big, so I might just slice them up a little bit and just put the small ones in on whole. Again, a little bit of olive oil, not too much, just a sprinkling. Why I suggest don't put too much olive oil in, because if you do, the fire is liable to catch hold of it, and the next thing up it goes in the flame with it. So just dice these off. You can just run through them like that. This is the big. There's only the big ones I'm doing. See, this one I'm not going to do. It's only the big ones. There's another big one. Again, just squish them around in the olive oil. You can see the oil now is around all of the carrot, and it is just, that's again, as I said, it will help to cook it. And these tin dishes, these tin foil dishes are just fantastic for cooking in this manner. There's the tin foil going on. What the tin foil does is it stops the food from being burnt, and it acts as a steamer, so you're getting a double reaction to what you're doing. That's that. Now here we've got our mushrooms, and again I'm going to do the exact same thing. Use a little bit of the olive oil. Okay. That's enough. And what I'm going to do, if there's any of the mushrooms I think a little bit too big, I'll just slice them in two and just plump them in. And the ones that are just small, just put them straight in. There's only probably a half a dozen here that are a little bit big. The rest are fine. Again, I'll just twist them around in the oil. And what I want to show you here, I want to show you how simple this cooking is. It's all so simple and easy. And if you have noticed, I haven't added anything to the food. We're going to get the natural flavours, the natural taste of the food, whatever it is. We're not mixing the mushrooms with the onions, we're not mixing anything with anything. I mean, you could do it that way if you wanted to, but in this case I prefer doing it this way. Now here I've got a cauliflower, and a lot of people could not imagine you cooking cauliflower in the oven. but the cauliflower will come out an absolute treat. And as I said before, I'm not putting anything on it, sauces or anything. We just cook it, and then if you want to add the sauces later on, you can do so. And again, it's just a little sprinkling of olive oil. Probably a little bit more olive oil in this one than the last ones. Just like that. Probably dice it up in about 3. No, I'll do it in 4. Beautiful. Just put it in flat. And a little bit there. And again, just covered in the tin foil. Now, the cauliflower is probably one that I won't take the tin foil off. I'll just cook it to the very end in the tin foil. The reason for that is it's more of a steam effect. I want the cauliflower. I don't want it to brown it up. So we will just leave that to the very end. And that's that one ready. Now, the next one I'm going to cook is our spring onions. And what I'll do is I'll just chop them up in about probably 1 inch. Or, yeah. And there we have it. Put a little bit of sprinkling of the oil. Don't need too much for the onions either. Just put them straight in. Doing the exact same thing with each one, no different. Then we have it, and again sprinkle it around. You can see maybe put another little sprinkling of oil there. You will get that more even cook when the oil is around everything. Because you get different temperatures of the cook as where there is no oil, where there is oil and where there's no oil, so that's important. Again, just using the tin foil. Again, I will leave the tin foil on this. Now here's our next dish, which people would not believe again that you can cook it in the oven. So these are just like cherry tomatoes, little small fellas. I love them. Why I love the cherry tomatoes is they'll cook within themselves, and if you're using big tomatoes and you're slicing them up, the next thing the juices are all oozing out everywhere. These will stay intact, and when they're cooked, they'll just be beautiful. Again, a little bit of oil, probably a little bit more than normal, and just plunk them straight in. And again, swizzle them around in the oil. You can feel it. If you feel it, if you have it on your fingers in them, it doesn't matter. You can feel the oil, that they've all got the oil on them. And again, the tin foil. Like I said before, all these dishes I'm doing now, I will leave the tin foil on to keep that steam effect going. And I'm even sealing it so as to get it nice and sealed. And now here we're down to our last veggie, which is pumpkin. And I must be honest with you, I love the pumpkin. It is just a beautiful veggie. So what I'll just core out the seeds. And I'll just take a little bit of skin off. Chop them up probably in sizes like so, like that. That's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swizzle them around in the oil again. And put the tin foil on. And there's our last dish of the veggies ready. Now we're just about ready to put our dishes in the oven. And what I like to do is don't put the tray in till you're ready to cook. If you put the tray in, because it gets so hot when you're firing up the oven, well, in actual fact you could melt it, but it would take a very big fire to do that. But it's better, just put it in now when you're ready to do your cooking. Just straight in, back like that, and that's how simple it is. Now you can see that the fire has come down quite a lot. It's down to a beautiful glowing embers, and that is just absolutely perfection for what we want to cook these veggies. That's about 500 degrees at this moment in time, so it's absolutely fantastic. We're going to put the dishes straight in. Now the oven's been lit for a couple of hours and it is absolutely at its optimum cooking capability. It is just absolutely perfect. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the dishes straight in, and I'm going to pull the shelf straight out. And I spoke earlier about how good the shelf is, what you can do with it. You can pull it straight out like this, just put it there, and then you can put the dishes straight on. And there's no fear of burning yourself in this manner. Two, three, four. Now what could be a good idea as well, if you wanted to know what was in each dish, so as you're placing it at a certain part of the oven, you could, with a marker, you could just write on it fish or veggies or whatever you have in there, so as you know what's in the dish. And then I'll just put it straight back in, and there we go. That's our top rail done. To put the bottom one in, it's a lot easier. It's not easier, but it's just a matter of simply putting it there. Put the next one in front of it. And you can push that in. There we go. That's our 7. And this is our 8th dish. You just push it in with this pusher. And you can hear it starting to sizzle already. Now I leave them in for about 15 minutes, and then I'll take them out, and the ones that I want to take the tin foil off, I will do so. And that'll be fantastic. If you want to, you can close the doors. It's a personal choice, doesn't matter either way. What you do when you actually close the doors, you actually slow down the heat. You stop the oxygen getting into the oven, and it will actually slow it down rather. A lot of people think that it will hold the heat in or make it hotter. It won't. It'll just hold it more consistently that way. But that's a personal choice. You don't have to close the door, but in this case I'm doing it. Now the dishes have been in for about 10 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones from the back and put them to the front, because there's a little bit more heat at the back than at the front, and I'll show you how easy it is to do that. You need your spatula, just pull this out. You can take it out, put it to the side. Now of course if you've got a bigger area, you have more space to do it. The back. And if you want to turn it on as well, you can do so. I'm not going to open them yet. I'm not going to take the tin foil off because I know they're not at that stage. So very simple. Might take a little while getting the hang of it, but it's simple. And just push it back in again. You can see the steam. See what I'm talking about, the steam effect. You can see the steam coming out of the dishes. First you can do it a lot easier on the ground floor. give it another 10 minutes and it'll be ready. Now, while we're waiting on our veggies to finish off cooking, which probably another 10 minutes they'll be ready, and we can carry on doing our meat dishes. And here they are here. We've got a couple of fish dishes as well, but it's mainly meat. We have got pork chops, we've got sausages, prawns, chops, chicken and duck. And we have also got a fillet of salmon here, which looks absolutely beautiful. So these are going to be our 8 dishes that we're going to be cooking. And let's get into it and let's go. And we're going to do the exact same as we did with the veggies. Just put a little bit of olive oil in and put them in, put the tin foil in. I'm not doing any seasoning, I'm not putting salt, pepper, I'm putting nothing on, I'm just cooking them as they are. Because then you can see the end result. And what you want to put on later on, you can do so. So here we go. Again, just a little bit of the oil. And these are pork sausages. Another thing which is a good idea is to not fill your dishes up too much. You know, just enough to let the oil get sparsely around everything, and they'll cook that much better. Like for example, I'll make 2 dishes out of these sausages because if I fill it all in, it'll be too much. Just like what we're doing here, that little bit of oil. Again, just put the little bit of tin foil on the top, same thing. Seal it all in, the edges like so, and that's it ready. Now our next dish is chicken fillets, and again the exact same principle, a little bit of oil, not too much. Here we go with the fillets. These have already been marinated. I bought them straight from the supermarket, so they have been already marinated up. Again, twist them around in the oil. Tin foil. Seal them all up at the side. And they're ready for the oven. Now here we've got our pork fillets, and again, a little bit of oil. Like as I said, you could do these in one dish, the complete. But I prefer to do it this way. But that's a personal issue as to what way you want to do it. If you're cooking for a lot of people, you probably do it easier this way. As I said again, it's personal. Again, just swish the oil around the fillets. There we have it. Just you can see the oil on the top there, tin foil. You might think it's a little bit of an effort doing the tin foil, but the reality is every time you do this, you have just a perfect cook, and then you can take the tin foil off and you can brown them up as to what you want. So you have full control as to what you want to do with the dish. Now again, we have got lamb chops, and we're going to do the exact same thing again. We're just going to sprinkle a little bit of oil, lump them in. As if you've probably noticed, I am doing everything sparsely in the actual dishes, because it just makes it that the heat gets round it more evenly, and you've got this more even cook. So this will just come up absolutely. When you see the end product, you'll be amazed. Again, a little bit of tin foil over the top. that's it ready. Now here we have got a couple of fillets of duck, and I'm looking forward to cooking the duck because no matter when I get duck out in the restaurants and places like that, I find them always too greasy. But in the wood oven, these will just, the fat will all disappear and it'll be absolutely delicious. Again, just a little bit of the olive oil. Especially with the duck, very little oil. There we go. Swizzle them around the oil again. That's all you have to do. Tin foil. And what I want to show here today is how simple it is to cook in the wood. Now, if you're cooking in a standard pizza oven or wood oven, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but you can see we can put the dishes in, we can take them out and get them ready so quickly. It's just so easy. Now, I've got a couple of small fish fillets here. I've got the salmon fillet and I've got garlic prawns. I haven't got many, but I'll just show you how to do them as well. It's just the same principle, no different. Pump them straight in. Swish them around in the oil. Tin foil on. Now I'll be very careful when I'm putting in these two dishes where I'm putting them. Notice I have done them last and I'll put them in last and then I'll know where they are, because obviously these dishes won't take as much heat as the meat dishes. And now we have come to, this is our fillet of salmon, and again, beautiful piece of fish. A little bit of olive oil again. Put it straight in. Just switch it around in the oil. Doesn't matter which side you put up, leave up. Again, tin foil on it. It's just amazing how you can seal these dishes. As I said, it's just like steam cooking for a period of time. Then you remove the tin foil and then you can draw it up what you want. So that's all our dishes ready. Now the dishes have been in the oven for at least 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, and I reckon they're probably cooked to perfection. So we take them out and have a look, and the fire has died down quite a bit. So it's, what you can do, you can use your spatula to help you to do this. You take them out, put them on the side. I will check every dish individually and just so that I'm totally happy with each one. If I need to put one back in for a few minutes, by all means I can do so. But I'd say each dish has cooked probably to perfection, very, very accurately. And what I can do now is just have a look at each individual dish and see how it is. Well, I know by looking at that pumpkin, it's perfect. Now here we're going to put our red meat dishes and fish dishes in. I'm going to keep the two fish dishes to last, so as I can watch the But here we go. Put it in. You can use this if you want to give you a little bit of. It's easy. You can see how easy it is to put the dishes in now. What makes it so easy is that you can, the rail, the stove or doctor lamp can move. And now I'm going to put in last our 2 fish dishes. Close the doors. Like I said before, you don't have to use the doors at all, but it just gives it a more surround heat. And once the temperature is at that level, it will cook them that little bit quicker. So those dishes now only need about 10 minutes. And they'll be cooked probably 8 to 10 minutes. So I need to time that. Now these dishes have been in for 15 minutes, and I reckon 15 minutes is the perfect time for them to cook. They can be fully cooked, we might need to brown them up a little bit, but we'll take them out, we'll take the tin foil off, and we'll have a look at them. I would nearly know by looking at the dishes that they're just about perfect. So we'll just use my, put them on the side. That's our 2 fish dishes. And we've got our meat dishes. Remember, you've got to be very careful because this oven inside is at 500 degrees. The dishes are at 500 degrees, so it's pretty hot. Just close the top ones. Why I'm closing the top ones? Just to keep the heat off my face. Now I'll just take the tin foil off. Oh yeah, that looks absolutely perfect. So that's cooked to perfection, it just needs browning up. So now you can see these dishes, they look a little bit raw, but they're cooked to perfection. If you put the knife into them, you look it straight through. And what I need to do now is just put them in and brown them up. Prawns can do it another little bit, the salmon can do it another little bit, but not much. So I'll put them straight back in. And what's so good about this as well, when I'm doing this, you can watch the food what it's doing. We know it's cooked. We know it's cooked, so now what we need to do is just brown it up, and it'll be absolutely beautiful. Now look at these 2 as well. These are the sausages. Oh yeah, they are looking absolutely brilliant. Oh, look at that. That is just sausages cooked to perfection. So I won't put that one back in. That one can go back in for a few minutes. Put the chicken wings back in and the duck back in. I'll keep the salmon and the prawns to the last. Now the dish should have been in for about 5-6 minutes without the tin foil, and I reckon it's just absolutely perfect. Oh yes, oh yes, yes, yes. This is like just beautiful. Let's take them out. Oh, look at the sausages are just cooked to perfection. You can't get better than that. Here's the chicken. Again, looking absolutely, oh that is gorgeous. Our chops, beautiful. They're just yummy. Our pork, that could go back in for another minute. Our prawns are just absolutely beautiful. And that salmon looks just magnificent. Sausages. And now that chuck just looks sensational. Just want to turn the salmon over, that looks just cooked to perfection. Just cut it. Oh, look at that. That is just magnificent. You can't get better. So now you can see how we can cook all our dishes. The only one dish that's left is the pork, which is still in. Just needs another minute. Now let's just take out the last dish, which is the pork dish, and see how it is. Oh, to me, that is pure delicious. You cannot get any better than that. That is just perfect. I'll just put that to one side. And what I want to do now is I'll make up 3 dishes of the veggies and the meat that we've used on the fish, just to let you see how you would all put it together on the plate. So we'll start off with the chops. I'll just put 3 on it, that's enough. And we will get some of our carrots. Look at those carrots. Oh my god, they are beautiful. They're just absolutely sensational. And here's our potato wedges or half spuds. A little bit of cauliflower. And a piece of pumpkin. Now on this dish you could use like garnish it with whatever you want, but that meat, carrots, pumpkin, the cauliflower, everything is just cooked. You can't get better. And if you see me putting the knife to it like so, it just slices, everything's cooked beautifully. You can see there going through the carrots. Fantastic. Pumpkin. Oh, look at that, beautiful. We'll make up another dish. This is the salmon. And I again. Potatoes. Like these potatoes done with this are just they're absolutely gorgeous. You can see little black spots on the carrots where they're caramelized, and that's just what makes them so nice. You can see the little spots there. Again, cauliflower. I mean, you could make up a lot more veggies than what I have done, but this is just giving you an idea. And here's our duck now. I'm really looking forward to the duck. I know that I find duck always very greasy, but there's certainly no grease on that duck. Again, a little bit of cauliflower. Potato wedges. Again, some carrots. A little bit of pumpkin. And that's it. So there we have 3 dishes made up. Oh, I got to make another dish with the I want to make another dish with the pork because that looks so nice. A little bit of pumpkin. Potato wedges. And our carrots. So there we have it. Four complete meals, and you could serve this with a side salad. You could garnish it with whatever you want, but the actual meat and the cooking of it, there is nothing like it. You cannot get it better than this. It's only in the woody that you can really get this result. You can't get it in the concrete oven because the oven's too wicked and it burns things, but this just cooks to perfection. I can't stress how well it's cooked. Just on, again, showing you the pork dish, just cutting through it, it just slices away. No pressure on it at all, just there. And as you can see, that is just cooked to perfection. Fantastic. Again, the salmon, people say to me, well, what can I cook in these ovens? Now look at that salmon. That is just, you cannot get better than that. That is just absolutely perfection. And the taste of that salmon is just unbelievable. Yummy. So now I hope I've showed you how you can cook 8 dishes in the woody. And like I said, it's only the woody you can do it with. And why it's only the woody you can do it is because it's the clay brick, and it's got the shelf and it's got the opening. You can get the shelf in and out to do it. So you could cook for like hundreds of people on the oven. Like it's bordering on equal to a $20,000-$30,000 commercial oven. And what you'd be taking up, say if you have a small restaurant or something like that, it'd be taking up half your restaurant. In this case, it's only a very small unit that can do this. So it is just unbelievable. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and I hope I've given you some tips as to how to use the woody, because just people keep asking me. It's one question that's asked of me every day: what can you cook in the woody? That is the one question that is asked every day. So now you see what the woody can do. You've seen me cooking 8 different dishes. I've been cooking meats, fish, and that is a little bit tricky because you've got to watch the different heats. But the woody is so versatile. This is what you can do with it. You can see what you're doing with the cooking. You can. It is so easy. You can pull the shelf out. You can look at how much the food is cooked and whatnot. So it's just an absolutely tremendous machine, and there is no other way you can cook this food in this manner. It must be a woody, because the number one key to it is built with a clay brick, and it's got the shelf, and it's got the opening where you can pull the shelf in and out and look at what's going on with the food. You can keep in contact with the food at all times, because even if you've got even a big commercial oven, you put it inside the oven and you really don't know what's going on until you pull it out. But you can just slide the shelf out very quickly, have a quick look, put it straight back in again, and you know exactly what's going on. So it's so easy to work the woody. Now, if you're interested in hiring the woody, by all means do so. Just give us a call on 933-61240. Check the woody out for yourself, and then later on, if you wish to buy, you can do so. We will be doing our demonstrations very shortly here again at the Fremantle store. So just give us a call on 933-61240, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, because I've enjoyed watching. I've enjoyed eating the food, and sometimes I don't like eating my own food, but I've enjoyed eating this food. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you back in Tom's Kitchen very soon.